There, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Today I'm participating in Baby Got Scraps, which is a YouTube hop using scrap paper. We are allowed one piece of 12 by 12 and then your 6 by 6 pads or scraps, and that's it. Of course you can use mixed media, you can use photos, ephemera, embellishments, and all of that, but as far as paper goes, that's pretty much it. So I had this piece of paper which has some red, yellow, and green mixed media on it, and I didn't use it for the project I thought I was going to use it for, and so it has been literally sitting on my desk, well, not on my desk because then I couldn't do anything else, but near my desk for, I would say, maybe 3 months. So I'm going to consider this a scrap as well. But what I decided to do was to change up the mixed media so that it is purple, yellow, and green, because that is going to go with the title of my page, and I needed those on my layout for what I'm about to scrapbook. I actually don't have any photos for this layout. I have a book that is going on the layout, and that might sound kind of strange because you know, books don't usually go on layouts. They're kind of big, but I had purchased a book on Amazon, and it was a book of a particular story that I wanted to give to my friend's daughter, and it was a book that my daughter loved, or a story that my daughter loved when she was just a little girl, and I really enjoyed reading it to her. And the story is called Purple, Green, and Yellow, and it's by Robert Munsch. And so I ordered the book, and I thought I was going to get like an 8 by 8 soft book, paperback for kids. And when it came, it actually almost got thrown away with the packaging because it came with something else, but the book was really only 3 by 3. It literally could fit in my pocket. And so rather than give it to her because it's so tiny, I decided to make a scrapbook layout out of it because, first of all, the story was really funny, and on that I thought I was getting like an 8 by 8 book and it came as a 3 by 3, but it was also one of my daughter's favorite stories and mine too, so I thought it was a really great way to tell the story of one of these stories by Robert Munsch that we really enjoyed, so that's why I decided to use it. Now I'm just using my Gansai Tambai, and I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but they're watercolors. You can get them on Amazon. They're like, I don't know, maybe around $40, and they're fairly good quality. For the price, I think they're actually really good quality. And I am just kind of mixing things up here, adding more greens and yellows to make it more vibrant. I really want it to have a vibrant look to it rather than that soft muted look that it originally had. And so I'm kind of going over the areas with different shades of yellow and different shades of green and different shades of purple. Now, in order to do this, I needed to make sure my purple was dry before I added my yellow and such, because otherwise it kind of made the color not desirable. I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah, yellow and purple don't make a great combination, and green and purple don't make a great combination mixed together. They do make a great combination, however, on your layout. So that's what I decided to do. And I'm leaving everything taped down until it is completely dry because that's going to keep my paper from warping. This was a gessoed piece of paper, and that is why everything is moving around so easily with the water. It's not soaking in super quickly. And I'm trying to keep all of the colors to their own area, just so that they don't start blending, and so that I make sure that I keep all 3 colors on the page. I don't want to have a mix in the middle. I definitely want to keep those 3 colors separate. I am using my heat gun as I go just to kind of keep the water level to a more manageable amount. And I do really like the way this looks when it's all done. It kind of looks like a hot mess right at the moment with all of the streaks in it and everything, but at the end of the day it looks really good. And there is a little bit of warping just because I've done so much on this already. Remember, it started out with color on it, now I'm adding more color, and then I am going to add some stencil work as well, so that's going to add more. But compared to what a layout normally looks like with all of this mixed media without it being taped down, the warping is very minimal, so it keeps it fairly flat, and I really like the way that it comes out. I am using some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in yellow. I think that color is actually called Butter, I am using some dilutions in purple and some in green, just to add some speckles here and there and across the page in all of the colors. Bringing all three colors together kind of, I don't know, I like the way that it looks. And then I think I'm going to go to the stencil work right about now. Oh, no, adding a little bit more color shine. Okay, so, stencil work happens after the fact, and that could be another reason why I have more warping. I actually did this layout quite a while ago, and I don't really, I think I did it in like October during load, and so I don't know exactly what I did in what order at this point because I've done so many layouts since then. But I definitely wanted to share this with you because I thought it was a fun layout, and it is using lots of scraps and 6x6 paper pads. So I'm trying to make a pocket. That is actually the book that you are seeing there. It is super tiny, and the story is really funny. If you haven't read it, or if you haven't read any Robert Munsch other than maybe Love You Forever, they are really funny stories. Love You Forever is definitely not a funny story. It's heartwarming and will probably make you cry if you have children. But this particular book and most of his other stories are really funny, and he's an awesome storyteller. So, highly recommend it. When my daughter had the book as a kid, we had what they call the Grand Treasury. So it has multiple stories in one book, and so I just wanted this particular story for this friend that we were going to give it to. But anyway, she didn't end up with the book because it's just so tiny. It really does fit in my back pocket. So I am layering up this pocket that I'm making. I used some staples. So that purple paper is folded up and stapled to create a pocket, and then the yellow piece is adhered on top, and then it's all matted with that green paper in the background. And the yellow paper kind of hides the staple marks. Not that, you know, they would necessarily have to be stapled if that's the look you're going for. I did not want that on my particular page. I wanted it to have a kind of a clean look. And I really kept trying to get these two strips of paper in there because they are like purple, yellow, and green, but I don't end up using them. I played with them for quite a while. They were from a different project. They were the offcuts of something else I had worked on probably 2 years ago. And they're in my scrap bin, but now they are in the trash because I didn't end up using them. And I was tired of looking at them and trying to fiddle with them and figure out what I was going to do with them. So here is where I decided to do some stencil work. You can also see that I went around the edge with my sewing machine. I did a regular straight stitch with purple and yellow, and then I did a zigzag stitch with the green. And that is, they're not perfect, they're a little bit wonky, and I'm totally okay with that. And that is kind of like one of the ways that I finish the edge of my pages when I have done mixed media and there's a white edge from where the tape was taped down. My other option would be to trim those edges off and back the whole thing with like another color or black or something like that to give it a nice border detail. But I decided in this case I just went with the stitching. It gave it a nice texture and it worked out well. And I didn't really want to bring in any additional color to this because I wanted to stick with the colors in the title of the book, so that worked out well for me as well. This particular stencil is a stencil that I got from Gina Marie Designs. If you Google that, you will get her website. She also offers enamel dots, like half the price that anyone else offers them, and I believe you actually get more enamel dots in the package than you would get like in, say, a package from maybe American Crafts or something like that. So I highly recommend them. I really love her matte enamel dots, so look for those if you're at her website. And her stencils are also cheaper. So most stencils are like $5.99, $6.99. I think hers are like $3.99, maybe even less than that. But I decided to go ahead and use that stencil, and I really like how it came out. And I used paper glaze through the stencil in purple, yellow, and green. And the paper glaze dries really fast, so I like the way that that looks and that it goes quickly. You don't have to wait super long. And now I've pulled out my alphas, these stickers in yellow and in green, and then I'm going to use a white set as well. And I'm using a play on words. The author, his name is Robert Munsch, and it's spelled just like I have it spelled right there. And so I just titled this Munch Love, and then in brackets I put below it for a little book, because we do have Munch Love for a little book. So yeah, I thought that was just kind of a fun play on words, and it used his name in the title, which was, I thought, was like a nice little nod to him. And then you can see there I did half in yellow and half in green so that they would stand out, and I just did them in on top of the opposite color. So that worked out really well. And then I used these thickers from Paige Evans. I wanted them to be a little bit smaller, and I just like the way they look, and they stick really well onto mixed media. Those top ones, the green ones, are chipboard, so those had to have a little bit of additional adhesive put down, but the yellow ones and the white ones, they are foam and they stick much better, especially on top of mixed media. So I'm going to finish up that title. I am going to do journaling on my page. The journaling is going to be on the yellow part of the pocket. There's going to be a little bit of embellishment there, as well as the journaling. And the journaling is basically about how I bought the book, and it was much smaller, and how it became, the reason I bought the book was because we loved it so much. But literally when I opened up this book, actually my husband got something in the same package. Sorry, I'm going back and forth here, but he got something in the same package and brought it in, and he left the packaging on the counter. Thankfully, I went to go and throw it away rather than him throwing it away, because it probably would have ended up in the trash. But when I picked it up, I noticed there was something in the bottom of the package, and to me it looked like one of those like warranty cards or something like that. So I pulled it out and flipped it over, and lo and behold, it was the book. And I laughed so hard that I cried. And I know that seems like such a silly thing, but oh my gosh, it was so funny. It was definitely not what I was expecting, and I had a good laugh over it, needless to say. So all month long there is a hop going on that is called Baby Got Scraps, and people are playing along here and there and throughout the month. So you can look for those videos. There will be links down below to ladies that are playing along with me today. And again, this video, or this hop, is just about using your scraps up or your 6x6 paper pads. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend checking out the ladies that are playing along today, and then going throughout the month and checking out more videos for the Baby Got Scraps hop. I do plan to play along here and there throughout the month. I will not be playing along every day, but I will play along when I can. So come back to my channel and check that out as well. So I had these little pieces of paper that had, the yellow piece had a white heart on top of it already, and so I decided to pull in a purple one and a green one, and then I punched the hearts and put them up on dimensional adhesive just to give a little more dimension, and I really like how that looks. And those are the 3 areas that I'm using them in, so I've got kind of a diagonal going on. And then I am going to stitch them on as well. And actually, I don't think I actually stitched them on because everything was done. I actually just ran each piece through the sewing machine and then adhered it on, rather than actually stitching it to the background. So that's a little tip for you if you are interested in adding additional pieces with stitching. You can go ahead and add it by stitching on the piece and then adhering it on. And then I'm just going to add a couple of sequins in each of the areas, and that's pretty much going to do it for this layout. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those down below, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for spending it with me. The close-ups are coming up in just a few moments, so I'm going to just finish putting these sequins on, and then stay tuned for the close-ups. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you would. I'd really appreciate it. I will talk to you next time. Bye. Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Today I'm participating in Baby Got Scraps, which is a YouTube hop using scrap paper. We are allowed 1 piece of 12 by 12 and then your 6x6 pads or scraps, and that's it. Of course, you can use mixed media, you can use photos, ephemera, embellishments, and all of that, but as far as paper goes, that's pretty much it. So I had this piece of paper which has some red, yellow, and green mixed media on it, and I didn't use it for the project I thought I was going to use it for, and so it has been literally sitting on my desk, well, not on my desk because then I couldn't do anything else, but near my desk for, I would say, maybe 3 months. So I'm going to